Okay, so when we say, first of all, the whole concept of IT, especially as we look at it in DevOps, is built around networking. What is network in IT? If we have a single computer like that, let's represent a computer by that. So that is a computer. It could be a laptop, it could be a desktop, it could be a tablet, it can even be these days mobile phone. So that has the applications basically that can simulate a real computer, right? So we have that computer. If you have this computer and every time you need to do something on this computer, for example, you save a simple document on this computer. Every time you need to access this document, you physically come to this computer to access it. What if you go out of the state and you need to pick a file from this computer? It's not possible. You need to come there physically, attach a drive or something. I mean, the old school way. You may not know that, but this is what it used to. And then copy your file before you can move it from one place here to another place there. This is because this computer is standalone, called it standalone. This is not good at all. This computer is almost useless in this modern world when it is standalone. So what you want to do to begin to enjoy IT, at least at the basic level, is to have this computer connected to other computers, maybe within the same building, maybe within the same home, maybe within the same town, maybe within the same campus, or even globally. When computers are interconnected this way, so that we don't physically need to come to this computer to grab a file or to print or to access internet, when they are all connected in such a way that we can now access resources on this computer. From this computer, we say we have a network, computer network. It simply means interconnection of computers so that they can share resources. The resources could be a file resident on this computer. It could be a printer that is connected to this computer. It could be the internet that is coming from the outside world to this computer. Whatever that resource is, networking allows us to benefit in the sharing of that singular resource amongst many computers. Those many computers connected together to form this cluster of computers. It's called, this concept is called network or networking, connecting computers together. All right. So when these computers are connected together within a building, for example, your office, we call it small network. But in IT, we call small networks local area networks. That's a local area, right? So it is on this foundation, depending on how big or how small your network is, that all this concept about IT, sharing files, loading applications, and everything we're talking about is on this concept, right? When you have a local area network, maybe within a building of a bank, for example, everything here working together to form a LAN. What if you have another bank? Maybe this is the head office. You have another bank office there, maybe branch office. Then you have another one, another branch office, branch two. It is also possible to interconnect these branches together so that they all work as network again. You now have a network of this branch office, that branch office, and this branch office, all of them working together as another kind of computer network, but this time on a wider scope than just a LAN. This bigger kind of computer network that is interconnecting LANs across a wider geographical area is generally called an enterprise. We have LAN or corporate, then we have enterprise. Enterprise is spelled but more generally, an enterprise network will not only comprise of computers across various branches, it will also, and more generally so, include remote devices outside the corporate network because this LAN is within a building, it is secured, and the kind of operating system it runs allows the services that it offers to be administered and managed. We call them corporate network. But outside the corporate network, we have devices, maybe mobile phone, tablets, especially mobile phones. For example, the network of our phone network like T-Mobile, like Verizon. It's not just connecting the offices of Verizon across America, but also connecting the millions and billions, millions of mobile phones owned by subscribers, connecting them to the same network to allow intercommunication. Because if phones were not connected together on the network, they will not be able to share voice and communicate with, because the communication actually happens in that along that path, right? Okay. So an enterprise network would generally not just be the connection of the corporate offices, but also the connection of mobile and remote devices over a wide geographic area. For example, mobile phone networks. Right. So for this purpose, even though if you go lower, you may find smaller kinds of networks. For this purpose, the smallest kind of network is LAN. Then when LANs are interconnected, then you now get, I need you to call it enterprise, even though there's tendency to call it one. You get an enterprise network. An enterprise network, like I said, is usually not enterprise because of the interconnection. Otherwise, it would just be an internetwork. It is actually because of this other mobile device. So you are growing from one small network to a bigger kind of. Yet, this is kind of old school. This is still deficient for modern day application because these resources are still localized. You still need to come here physically, even though it's an enterprise network. You need to come here physically to do stuff. You need to come there physically to do stuff because they are still, maybe you don't need to go there physically, but they are still physical. These resources are still physical. Let's look at it in a broader scope. You still need to supply power, you need to supply building, you need to pay bills just to maintain all of these elements that make up the network, all the computers, all the servers, all the printers, all the cablings, all the switches, all the routers. So many things come together, especially for very secure network of corporate organizations. So many things come together to form this network. These different devices that come together to form a network are generally referred to as network infrastructure. Network infrastructure, right? So you still need to spend a lot of money maintaining all of these infrastructures on the different networks that come together to form your internet. Modern way to do this is take all of this hardware, all of this infrastructure, and all of these budgets and money spent in attempting to connect all of them together. Take all of them and convert them from being physical to being virtual. It's no longer real. You don't really have to go to the market to buy them. And go to a company that already has all of this set up in their warehouse. That warehouse has all the computing resources that you would ever need as a corporate organization. So what you do is you rent their resources, and they make these resources available, this service available to you through your computer. So that from your computer, from your laptop, you can log in and access this enormous resource, network infrastructure, operating system, servers, and so many services. So that you don't need to set up these things physically anymore. You now set up these things virtually within that environment. That is the service that is known as cloud. So cloud is fast. This cloud service is fast replacing the need to get physical computers, physical network infrastructure, put them together, rent an office, rent a computer engineer, rent a network, hire a network engineer, put all of the run generator. No. So you don't approach IT that way anymore. The way to approach IT now is to have access to the same, even more resources than your physical infrastructure can offer, just by entering the cloud through your own laptop and accessing millions of computers. It's now up to you to say, okay, I need this server, I need this operating system on the server, I want to put this security around it, I don't want this person, this protocol to be able to log in. You now determine all of that and you build what you virtually because they are no longer physical.